train's off to Leyburn now. I don't care how smoky it is. It's brilliant. I'll be on the next one. But before that, I've got a special appointment to see a VIP. That's a very important person who thinks he's got me fooled. Are you really the Prime Minister?
I certainly am the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill.
What did the Prime Minister actually do in the war?
Well, obviously he was besides being the Prime Minister and leader of a coalition government, besides running the home front and things like that, his main task was to win the war and rally the people round and keep the morale up. That was the most important thing, that we then decided to throw the towel in. So it was my job to speak to the nation regularly, tell them what was happening and make everybody pull their weight, man, woman, child. Everybody had their part to play, not just the Prime Minister.
I thought the generals decided everything.
No, there was the generals, there was a chief of staff of all the four services, all the three services, which reported directly to the Prime Minister every day what was going to happen, and if he agreed with it, or agreed with the generals, then it went ahead.
Apart from the generals, who helped you?
Well, the country, the people, British people, was the main people that pulled me through.
Some German leaders were executed after the war. If we'd lost, could this have happened to you?
Almost certainly, yes. I think if the Germans had come here and I couldn't have escaped, which I probably would have done, like I did from South Africa, they would have certainly executed me and the rest of the royal family and also the rest of the government.
Were you ever frightened?
But frightened?
Yes.
No, never frightened, no.
It must have been great when we won.
Oh yes, absolutely. Our finest hour.
I bet you had a great party.
Yes, we did. I allowed a small celebration. Everyone had a day off on June the 8th, which was the day the war ended. There was street parties, and of course we had a big party at Downing Street. Yes, for all those who took part and all the whole of the government.
Thank you. I know he's not really the Prime Minister, he's just his double. I suppose I'll get told off for being cheeky now. But Mr Churchill didn't mind. Do you remember him telling me about street parties when we won the war? They've started having them in Leyburn as well, while some people went into their local public house. But there was more to it than that in Leyburn. Some took it very seriously, especially the landlord.
For several reasons. Number one, the issue we've had with the youngsters who've made a tapestry of Winston Churchill, got the school kids involved. This afternoon the children were down collecting money for Help the Heroes. The headmaster is here tonight, and they're the future generation, and they're listening to air raid sirens and music and videos that we've had showing all day from 1946, and I think it's good. It's history, it's our heritage, and I think it's important that we keep that.
Here's how they danced in the olden days. Do they really enjoy this? Maybe it's like Mr Pickard said. There's more to it than just dancing.
It's the only way of meeting girls while you're on leave. So you only had like a very short period to meet somebody. The quickest way to meet people was to dance with them. You could talk to them, and if you didn't like them, you go and find another one. And that's how they done it.
Right. And they used to go round, there used to be hundreds and hundreds on the dance floor, all going round and round and round, no banging. Absolutely amazing how they used to do it, wasn't it?
So it used to be.
We're moving into Sunday morning now, and everything seems to be changing. Everybody's still remembering the war, but in a really different way. This is the Methodist Church in Leyburn, but today it's for everybody. They're still in their uniforms and wartime suits and dresses. But not so much laughing now. This is the beginning of a church parade and act of worship. It's a long way from the battlefield. I'm not sure, though, how they're going to mix up a service with everything I've been hearing about fighting in a war. Hang on, this isn't a hymn.
During the Great War, a new weapon appeared, the aeroplane. During the Second World War, the aeroplane became the dominant weapon. Moreover, it transplanted warfare from the battlefield and into the lives of civilians. Some parts of the country saw more of the conflict than did others, especially during the Battle of Britain in 1940 and during the Blitz on London and other large cities in the years which followed. One of these places which experienced a major share of the conflict was England's south-eastern county of Kent, known, not without reason, as Hellfire Corner.
As I walked under the African moon, I heard the piper play, and the last place I heard that tune was 1,000 miles away. For to the west, in a deep-cut bay, by the ceaseless sound of the sea, we lived and laughed in a happier day, Archie and Johnny and me. But Archie's dead on the Libyan sand, and Johnny was left in Crete. And I'm alone in a distant land, with the music gone from my feet. I heard him under an African moon, that piper I could not see, yet certain am I that he played that tune for Archie, Johnny and me. Thank you.
Everybody's upset, even the men and the soldiers as well. Actually, I want to ask the Padre some questions about all this, but there isn't time now. Everybody wants to watch the parade. This is really the beginning of another ceremony. Only this one's going to be in the open air at the War Memorial, where they keep the names of those who died in the war. They call them the Fallen. This is really another kind of church service, but the army seems to be sort of in charge.
Parade all present correct. Permission to carry on, sir. Thank you, sir.
Each year we meet as a town to remember the town dead. Their names are...
Most of these people standing around here have nothing to do with Operation Dalesman or Combined Operation Sheffield. They've just come here to join in. You can tell they're thinking about soldiers. And what I've heard people say over and over, their sacrifice.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Piper. Please let's take the moment of silence to remember the fallen.
haven't actually seen anybody crying. But if they did, I wouldn't be surprised. This is really solemn.
When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. Rain, set, turn! Parade now complete. Permission to dismiss parade, sir. Thank you, sir. Parade! To the right, we'll dismiss.